when Hurricane Ike came through southeast Texas, Houston was hit pretty badly, and our house took a hit. I remember sitting in my study. It was about 2 a.m. I was reading. The lights went off, but through the small window, I could see the tree lashing back and forth and some distant lights that were red, probably from fires. Uh, in the morning, the electricity, of course, was gone, but Rob had very precisely purchased a generator for us. And we put in gasoline and it started going, and we ran a line to the house. The most important thing, of course, since it was hot, was to get our air conditioning going, and that was fine. We also had TV so that Yvette could be amused. She was well along in her dementia, but the TV kept her comfortable both in mind and her thoughts. I made a tour of the damage and found a broken window, broken outside lights, broken screen doors, and so on. The most remarkable thing was that a window in an outside wall, which had been enclosed in our garden room, the window smashed, but all the glass came through and stayed in the one room, that is the garden room. Flora was our caretaker for the evening shift. I think she came on about 4 o'clock. So I called her and we went out in the garden room and I pointed to the pile of glass on the floor and showed her where the window was now clear of glass. She said to me, "My husband can fix that." So I said, "Well, let me show you what else is gone." We went outside and we looked up to the roof. Two large acrylic pieces, probably 15 by 6, were cracked. The dawn to dusk light was smashed. Flora said, "My husband fixed those." We went to the screen door for the back door. It was twisted. She said, "My husband can fix that." I marveled at what he could do and how much her confidence lay in him. The back door to the garden room was swollen shut. I couldn't open it. She said, "My husband can fix that." So there was nothing to do but call him. Manuel came. I found out that his real work was painting houses inside and out. He traveled all over the United States, but especially Texas, but that was his specialty. But I showed him what the damage was. I asked him if I needed to advance him any money. He said no. Showed me his credit card, and he went to work. He bought new pieces of acrylic, screwed them into place. He took care of a new dusk to dawn light. He had brought along his nephew, who climbed a big tree in the backyard, cut down branches that had broken off and needed removal. He then went to the screen doors and fixed them. Flora was absolutely right. It was wonderful. Oh, I forgot to mention, he fixed the window between the two rooms. It was late one Saturday evening when Flora said to me, "There's a leak in your faucet in the utility room." I said, "Can Manuel fix that?" She said, "Sure." So she called Manuel. He took a look at the faucet, went over to Lowe's, bought a new one, and came back. He struggled with it because the two pipes that came out of the wall, for hot water and for cold water, couldn't be quite matched with the faucet that he bought. So it required a lot of twisting, turning, bending. And he spent from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock on Saturday night till he finally put things in shape. As he was finishing, Flora was talking to him in Spanish, and I didn't know what was going on, obviously. But finally I said, "Manuel, how much do I owe you?" He continued to finishing the job, wiping the wall so it looked clean. Flora was talking to him. They talked back and forth. He turned to me and said, "It's a gift." I said, "Manuel, you did so much. I want to pay you." He said, "No, it's a gift." A few days passed and he returned with his bill, but he also returned with a watermelon and a papaya. As it happened, as he brought the bill and presented to me, the electricity finally came on. I paid him, thanked him profoundly, and mentioned to him that I thought he was remarkable for a painter to be able to do those older things. He smiled and said, "Flora helped me." 2 weeks passed, and Lucy, our daytime caretaker and usual maid, came to me. She said, "Flora left her husband. She's going to marry another man." I was astounded. Here Flora was so proud of what her husband could do and do so well. She was leaving him. I said to Lucy, "You knew them well." She said, "Yes." I said, "Did you know she was going to leave him?" She said, "No." Go figure.